Hey, and welcome back to State of My Art podcast, where I, Michael Yordi, chat with fellow creatives about their projects, journey, and message to give you some ideas, inspiration, and a little entertainment. On this week's episode, I chat with Greg and Diz of the San Diego band Aviator Stash. Aviator Stash is an incredible band. They're characters. They just came out with a new album last month, so check it out. It's called PSIYH, which stands for Please Scream Inside Your Heart. And this is the first episode that I am hosting here in the Sharp School of Music and Studio here in Oceanside, California. I'm very excited. And of course, I started off with a nice big mistake. I forgot to hit record on the mics. So I apologize for the poor audio quality on this episode and some of the last episodes that were outdoors and whatnot. But I won't let it happen again. We have this nice controlled room, so from here on out, it's going to be nice, crisp audio for you. My conversation with Aviator Stash happened on February 11th, 2021. All right, boys, we're really doing it. Welcome to the State of My Art podcast, Aviator Stash. Thank you guys for coming up here from Carlsbad.
All the way from Carlsbad.
Are you guys from Carlsbad? Both of you live in Carlsbad?
I'm born and raised.
Sweet. All 5 members live in Carlsbad?
We got a guy from San Marcos in the band, but we accept him anyway.
That's pretty close. That's close enough. At least he can always stop at Guitar Center. There's no Guitar Center.
Yeah, he does all the Guitar Center runs for us, so we meet it halfway.
Nice.
And he'll work his way over. We'll get him in Carlsbad and take him in as one of our own,
Cool. Well, what is it today? February 11th. February 11th.
2/11.
Yeah, 11.
2/11/21. How have you guys been doing during all this? You guys just released an awesome album. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, obviously there's no shows or anything going on, but we've created a stash bubble. So we've been practicing. Obviously, we got an album done throughout this summer. We got a good amount of the recording and mixing done, and yeah, it was nice to have something out there for our entire audience.
One of the key things about that, when the pandemic first happened, everybody got locked down. I think we played a show, 3 days before, like March 13th. Crazy. And everything shut down on March 16th. And, shortly after, we kind of looked at each other and said, we might need to prepare if this is going to be the long haul, if this is going to go on for longer than 2 weeks, like they say at the time.
Right.
So we're like, okay, well, let's not count on doing any shows anytime soon. So let's work out our material, get everything recorded that we possibly can, and build up our social media, our videos, everything else, because we all had a feeling that this is going to knock out a lot of other groups that are more dependent on live shows. And at that time, we were playing every 2 weeks. So we were pretty reliant on that. So it's like we needed to just kind of stack all this material up in order to get through this. Because we didn't want to just be one of the bands that survived this. We also wanted to, be thriving through it and staying as active as possible. So we're still in that battle. But, we're getting through it, and, fingers crossed, things are looking good for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just keep hoping that, more people get vaccinated, places start opening up, shows start happening again, because now we're feeling pretty ready for it.
Yeah, I always saw you guys as a hardworking band. Your name was always popping up on flyers. I did sound for you guys at Legacy, and I was like, damn, this band's got it together. So I'm not surprised that you guys pivoted and focused on your online presence and put out a new album. That's the way to do it, and it sounds great. What is the name of it again?
PSIYH.
Yeah.
PSIYH.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
Please scream inside your heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Where that came from was it was inspired by a Japanese amusement park. It was a meme months back where they wanted to discourage people from screaming on the rides because that's a COVID spread. You can't do that.
Oh.
So they had a sign posted, and it roughly translated to "Please scream inside your heart," which became sort of the slogan for 2020. So we adopted that.
Yeah, we think we put it on our album, because if you look at the album cover, there's actually, it's in Japanese. So, I mean, we hope it says it. We did ask a few people who are, fluent, and they said it says, "Please scream inside your heart." So
it checked out with me. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, you never know. You might get some big Japanese. Do you have some Japanese fans already?
I mean, we get some plays on the streaming sites, but
yeah, we got numbers in Japan.
Yeah, we got
Hi, Japanese fans.
Hey, you never know.
We didn't forget about you guys. We're representing. One day, take us over there, all right?
Yeah.
Have you guys toured outside of California? You guys keep it pretty local?
There's not, right now. Especially now,
Right.
there's not really a reason to.
Well, we were thinking about maybe hitting the road, maybe next week.
yeah. If for no other reason, just for fun. But the kind of thing nowadays for bands, especially us, since we're here in San Diego, which is sort of a growing scene anyway. I mean, COVID or not, it's a growing scene.
Yeah.
A lot of great bands, a lot of great venues and resources here. So there's not really much reason to go anywhere.
And we're so close to LA. I mean, everyone across the world wants to get to LA, and we've played a good amount of LA shows.
Oh, really?
And the best part is we get to sleep in our own bed that same night.
Yeah.
And we don't have to live in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest perk about being a band from San Diego is we get to live in San Diego, right on the coast. Obviously, Carlsbad. And
great.
Then you go drive. I mean, when you're driving home after the show, it only takes an hour and a half. But get in there,
Yeah.
It takes twice as long, but that's okay.
These days it takes...
Yeah, now it's nice.
Short.
Yeah, and no one's on the bill. There's
there's
plenty of venues to hit up right now.
But don't get me wrong, if there was any reason to go out and tour out of state, if we had an opportunity, we would take it. It's just... there just hasn't been anything worthwhile enough to make us leave a place where there's so many great opportunities are just right here. So
that's true.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll stay around and kind of just cultivate this area as long as we can until we burn it out. Then we'll go and trash somebody else's town.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much why I moved here. Is I was like, I gotta figure out how to break out of my hometown market, and Toronto wasn't really working for me after pounding away at it for 10, 12 years. My hometown shows were sometimes the worst shows of the tour, and San Diego was always the best. So, I got up and moved here, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people moving here, especially as the music scene starts picking up again. And
Sure.
And it's a little more lax down here, I find, already. It's a lot more I feel like live music's going to come back first here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's already come back in Florida.
It never went anywhere. This scene in Toronto, that's not nothing though. They still had stuff going on, right?
No, I'm sure you guys would do really good there, actually. With your
What's up, Canadian fans?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, Canada and Japan.
Just
Okay.
Back-to-back dates. We'll do it.
Yeah,
we'll knock that out in a weekend.
Yeah. Aviator. Call the aviators.
Oh yeah, we'll get a private jet going on.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wonder how much Indie on the Move has been visited in the last 12 months. You guys ever check out that site?
No.
Indie
on the Move, it's like a booking, what would you call it? I can't think of the word. Database for all the venues listed all over the country. So a lot of bands who have never even toured before will go on that and call venues that are 1,000 cap rooms that they're never going to get in. And so it's kind of the central hub for finding venues and finding tour dates.
Sure.
And I just can't imagine that they got much traction.
Well, all it is, there's a couple that, we follow on Facebook and stuff like that, and you see everyone posting. Those sites are mainly just memes now of, when will shows return. And
so, is it kind of like a dating site where it matches bands with venues?
I wish.
Just keep swiping on venues.
Yeah. Ooh, that one looks nice.
Oh, this one got back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, I heard you talking before we started. You guys got some live shows coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when this show that we're doing right now would go live, but February 13th, Valentine's Eve.
That's this Saturday.
This Saturday we're playing in Julian, which is going to be, they're calling them kind of like micro fest.
Okay.
It's called Love Hotline, and it's a camping full night of music. Everyone camps. It's on like a campgrounds. DJs, silent disco, indie bands, rock bands, the whole 9 yards. Music all night long.
Isn't it cold up in Julian right now?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what we've been going back and forth. The weather's looking like it's going to rain tomorrow.
Oh.
And, yeah, they got snow 2 weekends ago, so
right.
it'd be really nice if there was snow because it would look beautiful. And plus, like, we're playing outside, obviously, so
yeah.
we've never played in the snow. That could be something to check off the resume.
I ain't worried about it. I'll play in a hurricane. I wanted to pull up the link, just...
Sure.
It is luvhotline.splashthat.com. So that gives you all the information on it. We're not sure what to expect, but hey, we'll take what we can get. Outdoor venue, it looks pretty legitimate, and I'm sure we won't, not have fun there.
Yeah, get some footage of it for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Because this will be out after that, but people
Sure.
can check it out.
Yeah,
And
we did one on New Year's up in Hamul, kind of the same thing, camping experience,
Oh, really?
all outdoors. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of these little microfests popping up,
Yeah.
and people just trying to take advantage of the outdoors, and
Yeah.
you dine outdoor, why not listen to some music outdoor and then camp? You got your own little space. And people were really respectful at the last one. Cool. And it's not that, it
Cozy
wasn't...
and safe environment.
Yeah, and you get your own spot, just like how you would normally camp, right?
It sounds nicer than being shoved up against a barricade, honestly.
Yeah. So, those are just some of the things, and a lot of San Diego guys, a lot of the guys who run sound, everyone's working together. I mean, everyone's out of work, so they're able to put some of these things together.
Yeah.
This one seems well organized, and with a lot of friends and other band members that, we've played with over the years, so should be a pretty fun night.
And then the following week, we have a live stream coming up.
Cool.
Out of San Diego. It's through the organizers of Same But Different Fest.
Yeah.
So they're calling it Same But Distant. So yeah, we'll do a live stream down there. It'll be kind of one of those things where like people can chime in, donate to bands, whatever, and we'll be doing it, and people can just watch it from the links.
Sweet. Is that a festival you guys have played before?
Same But Different. We did in 2019, was it?
Yeah, September 2019, out there at Lake Paris.
Sweet.
Beautiful. I've never been to Lake Paris.
Is it in Paris?
Yeah.
Okay.
France.
No, I know there's a Paris, California.
Yeah, you'll be driving halfway and be like, I don't think this is it.
That's Riverside County, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that was really cool because it was just like a perfect, September is some of the best weather. And it was just like dead blue skies, the water just reflecting, people with all their little floaties and stuff out there in the lake.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So I guess they just pushed it back 4 or 5 months then?
Yeah, well, originally they were going to do it again.
In September?
Yeah.
And then they pushed it back, and then they're like, well, I still don't think it's going to happen, so they just kind of called this year a wash. Mm-hmm. And still try to do other events.
And they have. They got in with, basically, they just started doing these live streams and kind of sponsoring them and running it through their site and having bands that have played their festivals before do this stuff. And, I mean, they... band it up with, there's a thing that Jesse Orlando kind of put together called Band Together. Same But Different was throwing it through their site, and then they just started getting everyone through San Diego to kind of chime in and help promote it,
that was another live stream thing that we did early on last year.
Yeah. But you had Music Box was promoting it. You had Studio West.
Cool.
Basically just like, and then shortly after, like, Casbah started doing their own thing. Some venues started doing that, right? Like, having bands come in and you get...
Stream from the venue.
Stream from the venue, get some merch, like, out to the, because the venues that are completely shut down, that's the only thing that they had was, hey, come and buy a t-shirt or a hat or...
Yeah.
It's
rough, man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it, like, doing nearly what they need it to do. Hopefully people were really generous. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's
pretty
crazy. I did it for Casbah, got some shirts for me and my pops, and then I did, there was another one where they were trying to just, like, save San Diego live music, fundraisers like that, bought some Not So Serious radio t-shirts, the radio out of Palomar College.
Cool. KKSM,
Yeah.
Cool.
So, just trying to support, the guys have always supported us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these are all places that have given us, if they play our music or let us play their venue or whatever it is, open up for, a touring band, and you're just given all these opportunities that essentially is, giving us a little bit of a better platform to be viewed on, right? You go open for a touring band, you're going to get different eyes instead of just playing with an all local night.
Yeah.
And it's in our interest to keep these places going too,
For sure.
I've been going to the venues and getting a lot of drinks to go,
Oh, you could do that? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really like
I had one on the walk here.
We really like to go drinks.
But the bottom line is, however which way you can, support the venues, because, especially now, it's down to the wire. A lot of them are just barely hanging on. So if we can make it just a few more months into summer, fingers crossed, I think we could turn it around. But, don't want to get our hopes up, but at the very least, these places are struggling right now. No matter what happens in the future, it's right now they need the help. So anything we can do, whether it's buying the merch, they're showing up and getting food, drinks to go, whatever, it's our responsibility as, San Diego music fans to keep these places alive.
For sure.
It'll matter later.
Or wherever our viewers live.
Yeah. Japan, France, Toronto.
Support your local. There's so many venues in Toronto I've been hearing about shut down that it's like, man, I can't imagine going back there and the Mod Club not being there. It's like
and after pandemic's done, everything's opened up, those places aren't coming back.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work like that. It takes years of cultivation,
right,
building up in the scene to keep those places going in the first place, and that's a tough thing to build up.
Yeah, that's what was really bumming me out when I was going through our 1 year anniversary of playing together at House of Blues. As I was thinking this was awesome that we had this opportunity and we went out with a bang, and I was like so excited.
That was a great night.
Yeah, I was so grateful the whole year of the pandemic of being I'm so glad that, for once I finally had decent timing. Where I got to play a big show like that right before something like that happened.
Sure.
Right before the pandemic. But at the same time I was like, man, I can't imagine what it's going to look like once everything opens up. It's been over a year now since we played there, and I can't imagine the venues just being turned into movie theaters or whatever they end up turning into.
Yeah. No, there's no more movie theaters.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, what is it going to be all weed shops, dispensaries?
Yeah.
What is the new?
Probably.
Yeah.
They're going to take over?
I definitely think that whatever is left is going to blow up. People are hungry to get out and experience what once was remembered as normal life. So you're going to have people traveling like crazy, hitting the cruises, going to live shows.
Yeah.
If it's out there and it's available and it's okay, relatively safe, and you're not going to get arrested for it, people are going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, even on the level of, I think it was like back in August, we got asked to play a house show, and we thought it was outside in a backyard, because that's what they had been doing beforehand.
Yeah.
Like the shows that you heard about from other musicians that have played it, they're like, yeah, it's super rad, like we set up outside. I'm like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we show up, and they're like, yeah, tonight's going to run later, so we're playing inside. And I mean, it's a full-blown house party.
Right.
And it's August. It's hot.
This sweaty living
And we're
room
just
with
like,
a fan.
Oh, yeah.
It took like a COVID tornado,
Yeah.
just spinning around.
Yeah.
You know?
And we're like, no social media kind of thing. Please don't tag us or,
Yeah.
But, yeah, we all made it out alive. But it was so, at the same time, it was just like, it was so rad because there was like,
Prohibition.
yeah, and it was live, and it just like, from not playing in front of people for so long, you felt that just fire that
Hunger.
gets lit, and
Yeah.
you're just like, whoa, like I haven't been that awake, in months.
Yeah, it just wasn't a dance that we wanted to, consciously do. It's just like we were already there.
Right.
And, we wanted to play. But, I don't think we could get away with that. And nor do we want to. We want to go, we want to do this right. And especially in the interest of ourselves and our families and all that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you going to do? You're there, and you thought it was an outdoor show, and to pull out, it's like...
Typical promoters, right?
Yeah.
You play at 10, it's 1 a.m. There's going to be like 400 people here. There's like 40.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like...
I just had COVID like a couple weeks ago, so now it's all the same to me, whatever. But
Yeah.
It's still, like, it's just more the matter of, keeping things under control, not spreading it. And
Did you feel it pretty hard?
I looked out. I don't think I got it as bad as a lot of people did. I've had a fever for a couple days, and that's survivable. I've been sicker than that before.
He's been hungover harder.
Yeah.
I thought he was. He just thought he was hungover.
Yeah, I didn't lose smell or taste, which I'm thankful for. That really would have messed me up. But so I think all things considered, I got through it okay. It's just now, I can not worry about it at least for a few months.
Yeah.
And
With those antibodies.
Yeah, when that wears off, I can finally get vaccinated and move on. But
so you can scream. Like, you don't have to actually scream inside your heart then. You can just let it all out.
oh, I can scream wherever the hell I want.
What is it again?
Please
Please scream
scream.
inside your heart.
Please scream inside your
Yeah,
heart.
as you could, just by saying that, right? That's why we had to do the acronyms.
What an interesting expression. Like, over here, it was like social distancing was the thing
Yeah,
for so long, but they were like, please scream inside your heart. It's so poetic.
Yeah. I mean, there could be a certain amount of that that's lost in translation or whatever, but that's what we got out of it. And just that phrase alone, it just seems so, it was kind of a running meme for a little bit. Like, that's sort of the slogan for 2020 there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we felt it was very appropriate for the time. I mean, to release an album during a pandemic and to use something that actually was being used.
Right.
So it's relevant, and then you could even, however you want to do it. How I personally, when he first said it, I was like, hey, it actually fits, like the album kind of theme. There's some, a little bit more on the, I guess the heart-throbbing kind of, a little bit more emotion in some of the topics that I'm singing about. So I was like, that's how I took it. Everyone takes things a different way, but
Sure.
It hit me, and I was like, yes, yeah, a little long of a name, but I like it.
Yeah, so there's your second dimension to it. There's, the COVID theme, which we didn't want to beat to death, because I'm pretty sure every band or artist did their quarantine album or whatever and wants to make it about that. We didn't want to have that be the focus. Yeah. Our material, was already, 60-70% written, and it just happened to fit the theme that a lot of these songs have, which is, the different sides of, the experience of love, getting into it, getting out of it, and all the things in between. So for us, it was more about that than the outside circumstances of pandemic or whatever. Because people are tired of talking about it. People are tired of thinking about it, and so we're not going to beat that to death by making an album all about it. But we can't deny that that's the time that we're in, and that's what we're dealing with. So those elements are there, but that's not what this last release was all about.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to look at that title even 5 years down the road and think, oh, that's their COVID album. That's
right.
Just Please Scream Inside Your Heart.
But it's just, it is a nod to it.
Yeah.
We've got, we've got references to it here and there. Both in just our visual media and lyrical content and what have you, but overall that's life still goes on, so that's still the main focus of where we're at.
Yeah, very bold opening. First track is The Aviator Stash.
Yeah.
It's all about going to Japan.
Good. Yeah, a lot of the great bands have to have their title tracks, so that's about as close as we'll get. That's a fun, bouncy little song that we have there.
It's a jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to kick it off right, and I think that it's a good bridge between the sound that we had with the previous release, Prescribed, and what we're doing now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I like track 5. Is it Hype?
Hype.
That's
5 or
track
6?
6. Track 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
That's more like your retro throwback, fun, sped up disco beat.
Yeah. It's fast. The
Soaring
hi-hats are
vocals.
fast.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely of your style of music.
Yeah. And we've been playing
sure
around
on
a
the
little bit
drumming
more
side,
with
too.
like that synthy, throwback sound. That's kind of fun for us. And it's also a different dynamic now because we've the original keyboard player from the first self-titled album, Drew Lang, he's back into the fold now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Did he play the House of Blues show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he came back into it when we were still playing a lot of our material from Prescribed, and then started writing with us again. So what you have now with PSIYH is all him, and he brings back a lot of just different writing styles and vocals contributions and stuff. So it's kind of exciting to be doing that again with him and kind of bringing back a lot of that old school Aviator Stash stuff in that sound.
Yeah. Sal and Drew are their writing style is very melodic, and so it has a lot of kind of gets you back to that first album kind of style of writing, I guess. So
Sweet.
Yeah,
It's very melodic. Definitely a lot of chops.
Yeah, I mean, because the rest of us, we're kind of musical cavemen, so we need those guys to sort of ground us once in a while. And then we just kind of, you meet it halfway, and that's what you get.
It's awesome. It's a good sound for sure.
It's a good dynamic. I think that a lot of bands could benefit from that. It's just the hard part is being able to tolerate each other, and we lucked out with these guys.
Yeah.
Despite all our different musical backgrounds and knowledge and styles and preferences, we make it a point to work together in a way that results in ultimately a product that all of us can put a stamp on and be happy with.
Sweet. Do you guys produce it yourselves?
Yes.
Awesome. You record it out of a studio, or do you guys have a setup?
So yeah, we go through Emerald Age Studios, based out of Vista.
Okay.
And
James Page.
Yeah, James Page is the owner and main engineer, and he helps with the production as well. And he also runs York House Records, which is kind of hand in hand with the studio. Mm-hmm. So this last release was under the York House label.
Oh, okay. So you guys signed an indie, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. Congrats.
Yeah.
That was the first album.
I thought
first time ever.
I thought it was weird that he had us, put blood on the paper, but however you want. He's old school like that.
Yeah.
So
we
you
did
guys,
when we were super blacked out, so we're not sure what the percentages are, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, he had the lawyer.
I know where he
in the room.
lives.
Whatever, it's fine. I'm sure it won't come up later.
So you guys were already recording there, a couple albums?
We recorded everything there.
Everything there?
Yeah.
And then they were finally like, all right, we'll put you guys on the label.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we they couldn't get rid of us anyway, so I was, like they might as well.
Yeah. Started sleeping there. It's just like, do you guys want to like rent or be on the label?
Dinner time.
But
That's
no, James has helped us out throughout everything Aviator Stash, and obviously just like anything, he's learned and grown as a engineer, producer, mixing, and I want to say so boy.
So he mixes and masters it too.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does a lot, and I mean, and we're not the easiest people to work with either. So I got to give him a lot of credit there. It's kind of a learning experience for all of us, but collectively, as time goes on, we're getting better and more efficient at cranking these recordings out.
More creative ways of recording too, because everyone's always got a different kind of taste on how they want the snare to sound, or the kick, or the guitar, and the song 99 Days on this latest album, we recorded with an iPhone and then mixed the drum, just the drum recording. We put an iPhone in the studio, recorded it with all the typical drum mics that you would usually use, and then we mixed that together to get this really compressed, kind of crunchier type sound. Because that's how we make up most of our music while we're just at practice or kind of in a jam setting per se.
So you use voice memos.
We always use voice memos, and that one, it was actually, I just got this new phone, and it was the first one that ever was the voice memo, and we just would always listen back to it. And we're like, dude, the drums, like wherever the phone was in the room that day, it just popped, and it just had that kind of...
It just suited the beat.
And it had to have it, It's sort of lo-fi, hip-hop kind of thing.
Yeah, we love that kind of stuff. We as a band, we love playing around with stuff like that, and it's taken us a long time, working with James and the studio to kind of get him on board with a lot of these unconventional ways of recording.
Sure,
because he's more by the books, but we want to break that mold and turn it more into this sonic playground and stuff, because we just just in nature and in passing and when we're jamming and all that stuff, we come up with sounds and ideas that might be a little off the rails sometimes, and oftentimes it is like not doable. We need someone to talk us off the ledge, but there's times you hear a sound like, oh, that's good. I like that. We should use that in recording. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That coffee cup sound is great. Like, we'll turn that into something, and I would say 2 out of 3 times it ends up being something. But it takes everybody to have an open enough mind to let that play out.
So he's kind of become your 6th member, and he's like, all right, I know these guys are probably going to want to tap on a coffee cup at some point.
Yeah. He's just got to just blindly hope that we know what we're doing.
Well, it sounds great, and
sometimes we do.
It's got like a cool, unique flow from song to song. No song sounds like the last song.
Something we definitely pride ourselves on, and I think that comes from just all the different backgrounds that each of us have done all of our lives. We've all played different styles of music.
Sweet.
Now we're in this band together, and that's part of the stash, It's just this mix of all these different little. You get a bluesy one, a super indie one, you get a little more rockin' one.
I was thinking that
it ends with the frickin' punk rock surf rock punk song talking about going to TJ and
Trader Joe's, that is.
TJ, Trader Joe's, going to Trader Joe's.
And it's kind of nice because now I think our friends and fans have grown to known that with us, where we have songs that are all kind of all over the place, but it's still at its core, it sounds very much like us.
Yeah, it still sounds like Aviator Stash for sure.
I know, as time goes on and we make more records, don't think there's going to be a point where we alienate anybody by taking any sort of direction sound wise. I mean, obviously we're not going to come out and do like an industrial album or some go country. Yeah, I mean it's not unheard of, but we might play around with a lot of those themes here and there, and I think people are a little more receptive to that because it's kind of our thing. It's one of the beautiful things about this band is that we listen to everything and we're open minded enough to just try stuff like that just to see what happens, and I think that's kind of the fun of it. And it's more exciting to be in a band than one that, kind of pigeonholes ourselves and writes ourselves into a corner where we have to make the same album every time.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So what are you guys listening to, or what did you grow up listening to?
The first cassette tape I ever bought for myself was Spice Girls.
There you go.
So
big influence.
Greg's the Spice Girls
Ginger
piece
spice.
of the pie.
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of classic rock, a lot of Motown, Van Morrison,
Who's that?
Supremes, Google them. And then, lately, we've been listening to a lot more like retro synthwave stuff. In the rock realm, Viagra Boys is a big one that we're on now.
Sick.
Iggy Pop's always a big influence
Nice.
too. So a lot of that stuff kind of creeps in. So Tyler and I, the drummer, we grew up in high school like just total punk metalheads. So that was like our main thing. And then the other guys grew up listening more contemporary stuff. So all that kind of blends together, especially now when we work together, because we'll bring something like that to the table, and then they'll pull it more in their direction, and we'll pull it back in our direction, and then we meet halfway, and that's how you get an Aviator Stash song.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see all those influences.
Yeah.
Is that what got you guys to start playing music, or what was your this is what I want to do?
Like, got us individually to play music or us together?
I guess both.
I just got into it because I wanted to party and get girls, and it turns out that playing music actually is the most rewarding thing of all. I actually got into it for shallow, vapid reasons, and now I've gotten more appreciation for the art of writing songs and making something that you're proud of that stands the test of time.
Yeah.
And just through the years of gigging and all that, there's sort of three realms to making music. You've got writing, recording, and performance, and you learn to appreciate all of those.
Yeah. I just do it for partying and girls.
Still.
Yeah. He was into it for the art, and it kind of, we kind of flipped roles here.
We swapped.
Yeah.
And then you guys were just looking for a band, or you guys
We
were all
always
friends
knew each
before?
other just from always playing music. We all, besides the San Marcos guy, we all went to Carlsbad High together. We all played in bands. He was in bands with the drummer. I was just in another band from the high school. We all knew that everyone played. Just at that time, probably, we always say we never would have thought that we'd be in a band after,
Battle of the Bands in high school, we were up against each other.
Yeah.
That's how I knew of him.
Yeah. Huh. So it goes way back, and I think just after years, after high school, and everyone's still doing the same thing, everyone's still got the same passion, same love, and still grinding away, and just
join forces.
Our paths just cross at the right time, and it's been great.
And I was listening to what Greg was doing in those early projects before we ever started working together. And I was like, who is this guy? He's singing a little too good. I've got to keep an eye on this dude. And over time, he started making more of a name for himself. And then I moved back into town, and I was looking for a project, and so it worked out that way. And it was respectable enough of a project. I was like, all right, we could do this, and then it became its own thing.
Nice.
So, over years of just them putting a lot of work in, and I just try to keep my job here,
So how long have you guys been a band?
The first album came out 2017.
Okay.
And that was pretty much right. After that first album is when Diz and Tyler came in. So, I mean, I'd realistically say the band, you start from the first album, so...
Yeah,
sure.
2017, described as the year next year.
Wow, so you guys have been putting out an album like each year.
We're trying to be, more prolific than that now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, and especially COVID was kind of a monkey wrench thrown into the thing. But this year, we're pretty optimistic that we can release a little more than that. We
already got some other songs that, we had these songs that we kind of made up like actually during COVID, sending each other tracks and, all the time that you didn't get to spend together, you're sitting around writing music and stuff. So there's some pretty hot tracks that we really were like, these belong together too, we even recorded some of them during the last sessions thinking that we had put it on this, but they belong, it's kind of a little bit of a different time.
Sure.
They belong together, I guess, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the very least, we're not going to guarantee much, but I will guarantee there will be another release of some sort this year.
Wow.
I mean, we're, whether it be a single or an EP or something, we're still working that out. But, we also are sitting on a lot of other material that we might want to put into another release before the year is over. It's just... like everything else right now, it's kind of just hanging in the balance of what happens in the next few months.
Right.
But we're pretty well prepared to release something soon. So if we can release 2-3 things this year, we'll do it. We just want to keep pumping stuff out there.
Good. Do you guys have a single already lined up from this release, this album?
We released a couple singles before the album came out. So in 2020,
yeah, we did 2. Mm-hmm. Hype was one of them.
Oh, okay.
And Elevator.
Did you re-record Hype, or it's just part of the album?
No, it's part of the album.
Okay.
So we
there was a little bit of tweaking in the mix and mastering, but no, they're more or less we did that with Prescribed too, where we put a couple singles out and then released the full length. There's also a video for Hype too.
Oh, really?
On YouTube. Yeah, if you guys get the chance, check out all the Aviator Stash stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're gonna start putting more bits and bobs on that.
Nice. Yeah, I'll share the link in the description as well.
Yeah. Not only just like music stuff, more lifestyle stuff. And
I was gonna ask that if you guys have
watch.
like a TikTok account or
we're too old. We're too old for TikTok.
Dude, I feel the same way.
And I can't dance that good, so
there's only like 6 things people are into on TikTok, like animals, dancing,
but,
politics.
We'll find.
Not Aviator Stash.
We'll find some stuff. I mean, occasionally I'll do Reuben reviews. I'll go to different restaurants and rate sandwiches. Yeah, that's a little hobby.
Where you put that on?
I got a couple on YouTube and Instagram TV. But we'll find other places to plug that. I'm sitting on a few that are yet to be released.
On the band's Instagram or YouTube or
I'll do it through Aviator Stash. But so if there's any restaurants out there that want me to see what their Reuben's all about, hit me up. That's my favorite sandwich. That's why I like to do that.
Oh, dude, I love Reuben's. We should have got some for the podcast. Got them to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, seriously.
That'll be a good excuse. We'll do another one. We'll do one. Let's do one live at a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do a part 2. Speaking of sponsors, I got you guys some Vocalese. It's a throat spray.
Oh, I love this stuff.
Yeah, they've been some loyal sponsors of the show and my touring for a long time now. So
excellent, thank you so much.
Yeah, I just found another stash in my trailer.
Hey,
figured I'd hook up Aviator Stash.
See what you did there. I should have hit this before we went on. I was getting the gravel out of my throat, man.
I should have used this before we recorded this last album.
It's pretty magical, man. Like anytime I have like a sore throat in the morning just from singing wrong, I spray this stuff and it's just like immediate soothing. Nice. Not in like a numbing way though. Just like I feel like I just drank a lot of honey tea.
Just want to get that radio voice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. That's good stuff. All right, I'm back.
Feel the resonance.
That's great. Thank you.
Feels way better.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for coming up here.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
The pleasure is all ours. Nowadays we're happy to do anything. So
Yeah.
Anything.
I should have mentioned we're here at the Sharp School of Music and Studio, our new little project here. And should be easy to edit in this environment now.
Yeah, and cheers to you guys putting all this together. It looks like you guys put a lot of work into this place, so I'm excited to see a lot of stuff come out of this place.
Thanks.
It's very promising.
Yeah,
and to be so close to home too,
Right.
Us North County people got to stick together,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if things do open up in the summer or whatever, keep us in mind. We like to come out and do events.
For sure.
We're still hard-working boys just looking for some gigs.
Yeah, no, I know you guys are. And good luck with the gig this weekend and the live stream.
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, and you guys check out all our social media stuff, Facebook /Aviator Stash.
Unless you're in Japan.
aviatorstashband.com.
Or in Paris.
Thank you, Greg.
Toronto.
Instagram @Aviator Stash.
That's not a good
Twitter. Excuse me. Check us out.
I'm gonna put them up on the screen. Don't worry.
We'll plug all our links, all the stuff coming up. More to come. We're kicking around a lot of ideas for the future, so we'll keep everybody updated. YouTube, Aviator Stash, all that good stuff's on the website. Don't forget about us.
Sweet. Yeah. Check out the video for Hype in the description, and check out the entire album. It's great.
Thanks.
Thanks again, boys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
All right, see ya.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Aviator Stash. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Thank you, Aviator Stash, for being on the show. Please go check out all their social handles @Aviator Stash. Check out Diz's Reuben reviews. They're real fun. Big thanks to Vocalese once again for supporting our voices and hooking the guys up with some free bottles of vocal spray. Vocalese is an all-natural throat spray. Doesn't numb your throat. It tastes delicious. You can get your very own bottle as well as their other all-natural products by visiting this link beside my head to get 15% off your order. I'll leave it in the description as well. And thank you again for checking out State of My Art podcast. If you like this episode, please be sure to click like. If you really liked it, click subscribe or follow wherever you're hearing this or watching this. Share it with a friend. Click the little notify bell so you can find out about more episodes like this one. And I'll see you next week for another episode of State of My Art podcast.